And there's Jill. Hey, Jill.
Hi, guys. I'm
See you tonight.
favorites.
The 2-for-1 special, right?
Yes, it
I
is.
double booked. Noah's driving.
I think that's perfect. I just had somebody ask me yesterday, is it okay if I'm in the call or in the car for these calls? And I'm like, absolutely. I think Mo Ladarsic
Right.
a couple weeks ago. Can you guys hear me okay? I feel like my internet is not great right here.
Yeah, we can
But
hear you good.
Mo was at an eviction and she
Maybe
was like, hang on, I'm in my car at this eviction. It was funny. And Teresa, thanks for being here.
no. Am I okay? Is it Jill or is it me?
I bet you it's me. Hang on.
Okay, because I'm like, I can get a phone if it's not, if the signal, if we're not strong enough. She's like, let me get towards the outside of the building. Yeah,
Okay.
there we
I
go.
think that's better.
Yeah. Got 5 of us now. There we go.
Perfect. All right. Oh, good. Brian Jackson's getting on. Awesome. Okay, so since we try and keep these promptly to a half hour, we can go ahead and get started. We will record it and add it to the YouTube pages just in case anybody's not on so they can hear. But Tracy, would you like to introduce yourself? And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Absolutely. So I am Tracy Jones. I am owner of the Tracy Jones team. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. I have my broker's license. Last year, we did 235 transactions at 36.5 million. Our average unit per agent is 39 right now, and we're looking to make that even higher. This year, we're going to be over 100 units sold before we finish May. So we're putting up some really big numbers this year, and we've been driving listings because listings help you control the market. Listings bring more leads, listings bring more business. So listings, listings, listings. Yes.
So Tracy,
ahead.
and sorry, I don't want to ask too many questions. I can let you take it away, but something I have been so impressed with just watching your story is you were a team that used to be buyer heavy and now you are dominating this listing market. If you could give us any secret sauce behind that, what would you say that's coming from?
So we actually did a mindset shift, and we've all worked on doing everything we can to chase listings, because it's the 3 L's of real estate is listings, leads, and leverage. There's no B in the 3 L's. It's listings, leads, and leverage. So how can we as agents change our business from being buyers to being listers? And as a team lead, as a team owner, I actually changed the pay structure as to what I pay my buyer's agents versus what I pay the listing agents, because historically we've always paid listing agents on the teams, we've paid them less because there's more overhead. And I did a deep dive into my finances, and I figured out with the amount of money we're paying for these Zillow leads, these realtor leads, and all these buyer leads, that listings are no longer more expensive than buyer leads. So like if you are one of those agents that you're paying 500, 1,000, 2,000, 7,000, whatever dollars per month to buy buyer leads, how can you take that money and spend it on listings? How can you take that money and prospect for sellers? So that was the first thing we did. We incentivized the agents because we wanted them to know that listings are just important or more important to us than buyer deals, so to speak. Not that any client is more or less important, but in the market and in the current atmosphere we're in, we all need to be listing agents because we know that's where the power is. And I would just ask, I mean, this is a small group, and if you guys could turn your cameras on, like I'm not the kind of person that like enjoys the sound of my own voice, and I'm doing this for you guys. So I want this to be interactive, and I'm going to start asking questions, and I will, I see names. So Brandon Dow, I'm just going to ask you because you're on here. How is your listing business this year? Do you do more buyers or do you do more listings? Here he comes. I think the video's popping on. Keisha, I can see you. Can you tell me what you do more of? Do you do more buyers or do you do more sellers?
Way more sellers. And I've been doing that for a long time. And I agree with what you said. It's the mindset around it. When I came into this business, I was very buyer heavy, like most agents are. But you shift your mind and your focus on listings. What is called what you focus on expands. So I think that's the fact. I disagree totally with. I agree totally what you said. Um, Focusing on it, switch your mind around it. So yes, I'm very listing heavy.
Okay, great. I'm seeing, how about Richard Manco? Can you tell us where you're at with your buyers and sellers?
He's our MCA.
Okay, he's just on there to record then. Okay, somebody else. Who wants to go? Joey. Joey Dickerhoof. Is Keisha the only brave one that wants to participate? This is for you guys. This is not for me. I know how I do listings and sellers and buyers.
Tracy, I'll tell you. So now Brian still teaches, so he probably had to get off because he is in the classroom. But I can tell you something I am seeing an opportunity, at least his business is up year over year. And I believe part of that is he works with a lot of investors. Like he's at, I think, I don't know, 20 something units closed, which is much higher for him. I'm curious, it's, you need to find your bread and butter sometimes with listings. And I know some shy away from investors, but are you seeing more investor business right now of people listing, or is that just a
We
fluke for him?
Oh, and actually, we're all over the place, and I will give you guys a lovely little story. I have a property I just recently sold. It's a $30,000 listing, and everybody's like, ugh. And it was rough. I still paid for professional photography because you guys, every listing that we put out there, it's our product. And quality. I don't care if it's 30,000 or 3 million, they're going to get the same listing package from me. I charge a minimum fee, which we can't openly discuss anymore, and you're recording this, but know that it doesn't matter how much it costs. There's a number that I charge no matter what. And most of them are grateful that I charge that because I can sell those little properties quicker than anybody else because we take pictures of everything. And if you see a $30,000 property, you're going to see a really cheap cell phone picture of the front, nothing else. We took pictures of every single room. I got a sign call and this lady's talking to me and she's like thinking about she wants to buy it. I went in, and not only that, I took videos of everything because this lady's out of state, but she said she's local. Sent her all the videos, sent her son through. She calls me back and she's like, you know what? I really need to quit doing this. I already have entirely too many properties, and realistically, I probably need to get rid of some. So let's talk about that. So we analyzed her portfolio, and I'm selling seven of her properties. 3 of them are going live Friday because this lady called, it was a sign call on a $30,000 property. And I treated her, I didn't know that she has 25 or 30 properties. All I knew was this was someone that was interested in a property that I was trying to sell, and it matters. $30,000 customer matters. The $1 million client matters. And it's like $1.2 million worth of real estate that this lady has asked me to sell for her because she's like, I've never had anyone as proactive as you. I've never had anyone answer the phone and engage with me the way that you did. And now we're piecing out her portfolio and selling it over a listing I took that was $30,000. Why? Because I provided value. My team right now, we're going through that value squared that Gary and Jay and oh my goodness, I
Jason.
can see his face. I'm sorry, I'm having that. obviously. So we're going to take probably 6 weeks to go through that, but we're chunking it down into bits and pieces and talking about how are we providing value for our sellers. And a lot of people, like, not a lot of people, but there are some agents that, like, when they get sign calls, it's aggravating to them. They're like, who's calling me? Or it's a $30,000 listing. So they don't want to be kind to the people they're calling. Nikki, Value Squared, you can find that on command. They have slides and they have the entire recording. I'm sure one of these people, these MCAs or somebody from one of the market centers will probably put that in the comments for you. Dive into that and look at the slides, look at what you're doing, because I'm telling you right now, that's important. And what kind of value are you providing? What are you doing? What's your listing package look like? When you show up at a listing, do you just have a handful of MLS printouts, or are you using RPR? Do you have a really nice presentation? Do you have a seller packet? What does that seller packet look like? And I'm going to go back to you, Keisha, because you're the only one that wants to play along. You said you're doing really well with your listings. So do you have like a professional listing packet that you take with you? Do you have any kind of marketing stuff printed out when you go?
I do. I'm actually doing that right now, multitasking while I was
Uh,
listening. But yes, I do. And sometimes I use electronic presentation as well. So I take it. I'm noticing, you know, you have to cater your packets to who your audience is. So I'm noticing, I think I might be bringing too much.
right? Absolutely.
Let's get to the point, but make it pretty. So yeah.
So
Yep.
a seller prequel, I can kind of I can run off of that. When we do our seller prequel, um, if you're familiar with the DISC or the personality types, it's really easy to find out what kind of personality you're dealing with when you're like, hey, how's it going? I'm confirming that we have an appointment at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, great. Can you tell me a little bit about your house? And if you hear it's got 3 bed, 2 bath, I've been here for 10 years. It's great. I love it. Odds are you're probably dealing with a D and you need a bullet point. If they're like, oh my goodness, wait till you see my backyard. It's so lovely. I have so many people over. I love to entertain. This house can hold my family and my family's family, and I have friends, and it's just the best place ever. That's definitely a high I. So you know that you need to be relational with them. If they're an S, which is an amiable, maybe they're like, well, it's a good house. My wife really liked it, or, my husband picked out this house. And for me, as long as my family's happy and they enjoy where we're living, then, I'm okay with that. You're dealing with an amiable. So again, you don't have to worry about diving so deeply in. And then if you have, well, the R factor on the insulation is this, and we have this many watts and coming out of the breaker box, and the roof has this many shingles on it, you're dealing with a high C. That's when you take the pile of information with you, because you'll probably never have enough information for a high C. They're probably going to ask for more. And if we can pre-qual those sellers and try to figure out what personality type we're dealing with, and then there's always the anomaly because you have the second person, like, are all the decision-making adults going to be there? And trying to figure out who your decision maker is going to be and cater your presentation to them. So I have a tendency to bring my entire listing pack. I have a folder and I have one on one side, one on the other. And as I'm talking, I kind of page through what I want to pull out for them if I'm not exactly sure what personality I'm dealing with. So I'll have the extra stuff there, but if I don't think that they're down with that, I'm just like, man, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here, but we're just going to go over the highlights. If you want the rest, I can give it to you, and kind of guide them by that. And, the any kind of scripting we do with presenting our listing to a team lead or to another agent, or, just getting that critique where we're practicing. We do a lot of scripting and role playing on my team where we're like, one of 3 things is going to happen. I'm sure you guys have heard this, right? When you start a listing presentation, one of 3 things is going to happen. We're going to talk and we're going to agree, and you're going to hire me and I'm going to work for you. Or, we may go through some things and we're not going to agree on some things. And I may decide that this is not a listing I want to take. Or, choice 3 is we're going to talk about some things and maybe you're going to decide that you don't want to work with me. So let them know that like you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. Um, I'm not one to, I won't cut a commission. I just won't do it. Like, um, I like nice stuff and I will pay the price. Like, I'm girl, it's all about Gucci and I will pay for that. Right. And if they're bargain shoppers, it's okay. I'm not your girl. I'm not going to shop at Walmart. If that's where you shop, then I got the agent for you, but it is not me. I do not put it like that. Not at all. At all. But back to your conversation, how do I defend my value? We only use professional photography. If the house is big, we're going to do a 2D floor plan. We're going to market this. I'm going to do videography. I'm going to blow it up on social media. Like, do you know your marketing plan down flat? Like, or do you do mailers? Do you door knock? Do you do open houses? What are you providing for this seller? And can you articulate it? Do you have a printout? Do you have bullet points? How are you communicating that to those particular sellers? If you have that down, and even if you don't have it memorized, if you're not presenting on a regular basis, if you have that marketing package, whether it's a book or it's just a bunch of really nice handouts that you've put in a folder, if you can go through that paperwork as you're presenting, it makes you look more professional. We were doing, and I'll tell you guys, because everything is so crazy and it's changing so much with buyers and sellers. We had booklets that we were paying to have printed, and now we have switched to pocket folders, like really nice folders, and we're doing pages because I don't want to pay $2 or $3 a pop and order 100 of these books, and then next week something changes and then my books aren't relative anymore. So I'm skipping pages on the seller books. So we've switched that up to until everything settles down with NAR, until we know exactly what the rules are. We're just doing these really nice high-end folders, pocket folders with our buyers packets and our listing packets in them. And if they're done well, like we've got magazine quality papers that we're printing them out on, and each agent has their own, and it's like our mission, vision, and values, an introduction of who we are. And we ripped it off from Glover, 100% R&D. So if you guys want that kind of stuff, I can send you the PDF. I can show you what we're printing for our agents. It's Tracy, Tracy, at thetracyjonesteam.com. If you guys want those packets, I'll send them to you. Just take our pictures, put your own in. There's no real big secrets here. We'll share all our stuff. Execution is where we win or lose, and confidence is where we win or lose, right? So again, Brian's back on, but he's teaching, so I'm not going to pick on him. Lorraine, can you turn your camera on? Do you want to participate? I'm just picking people's names here. Or I see Nicole. Do either one of you guys want to pop on here and talk about what you're doing with your listing? Warned you guys, as my classes are interactive. I like other people to share too. Hi.
Hi. Well, I haven't had any listings. I am a new agent, so I'm kind of like learning. But I definitely would like to look at your packets to get some idea on how to create my own.
Yeah.
If you guys want one of those, I put Tracy's email in the chat. If you want one sent to you, please put your email address in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll send those to you, Tracy.
Okay. Yeah, we put everything together on Canva. You can get a free version of Canva where you don't even have to pay for it. And if I send you the PDF, you can pull my headshot off of it and put your own on, make your own little bio, just print some stuff out and go for it. So Nicole, I'm assuming you're probably, as a new agent, you're in productivity coaching.
I am.
So what are you doing like for prospecting for listings?
I really haven't. I actually been getting a lot of buyers. So I'm working with probably like 3 buyers right now, looking for homes.
Okay.
But I have not done any listings, or I don't even know. I was just telling Denise this morning, like I need to find out how to learn how to get some listings.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I will tell you, statistically, 85% of all agents, their first year, 85% of all their sales are going to be buyers.
mhm,
It's just a natural thing that happens.
mhm,
So keep in mind that if 85% of your business is buyers, that's just normal. We're all like that. That's why they say like year 3 and year 5, your business will just take off. If you've
mhm,
been relational and if you stay in touch with those people in 3 to 5 years, your first time homeowners, they're 100% going to sell. And if you stay in contact with them and you pour into them and you continue to provide value, they're going to list with you and then you can sell them something again. Jill's got her hand up.
I wanted to ask Tracy, because I would say we have a mix and we do have a good amount of newer agents on this call. What would be, if you could say what the number one resource of, if you could go back when you were newer, and they are trying to build their listing pipeline, what do you think the number one activity they should be doing is?
There's nothing new under the sun. My very first listing, in my price that first year was like maybe 100 to 150. My very first listing was $280,000 because I hosted an open house for another agent and she had a lot of listings. She didn't want to host open houses. And this lady that came through the open house was actually looking for an agent. And she came through and I just made friends with her. And I didn't realize at the time that like she was looking for some her. And all these people like missing all these opportunities with years because lady won't quit talking to me. And then she ended up asking me to list her house and I sold her another one. So I was super excited about that. FSBOs, the one they already have a hand up. They already say they're going to list. I have a for sale by owner right now and it's 1.3 million. And I was like, I'll just call her. Why not? And I talked her into taking an appointment. I listed with her. It's in contract. I have both sides. And I won't talk about how I didn't cut my commission on that one or how much I charged her, but it's going to be a nice side. It's going to be a Gucci day when I'm done. But it was a for sale owner and I took a chance. Like I have another for sale by owner and this is a fun story. Jill's heard it. This kid had this house listed at 180,000 and it's in a neighborhood where it should have sold for 125 and nobody wanted to call him because they're like, this guy must be unreasonable. He was a young kid. It was his very first flip and he had a ski trip and his dad told him he had to have that on the market before he went on his ski trip. So he just put a price on it, but he would bother him while he was on selling it for 125 and I'm on my third property with him. And I sold his sister a house and I sold 2 of his friends a house and I sold his sister's boyfriend a house and they're all flippers. So like there's like I can count 9 now 10 transactions I've had from that one FSBO call. I had a FSBO earlier this year in February. He was also a flipper. I called him. He was interviewing agents. I won the listing. I sold that one for $235,000. And then he had a friend that passed away. His parents are selling a house. He's like, you have to interview Tracy. I just put his friend's house in contract for 390,000 and I'm selling them a condo for 298,000 because of the FSBO. And now we're looking for him for another one for him to flip. And it's just from calling FSBOs. So like 1 converted FSBO, 2 converted FSBOs, and I can count 12 to 13 transactions out of 2 converted FSBOs. It snowballs. And again, back to the value, what kind of value are you providing? Like, we do seller reports every Monday. So every Monday before noon, every seller we have on my team, they get a report. How many agents were through the house? What was the feedback? And what are our suggestions? Like, do we need to make a price adjustment? Maybe it smells like cat pee. But, maybe we've had those before, but every single week, and we're completely transparent about the feedback. Like, we're not holding anything back. This is what the agents are saying that are walking through your house. And this is how we can adjust and move forward. But they look forward to those seller reports. They know that they're going to get a report. You know, we do showing time, so we pull that report, but we also bullet point the feedback so we can give them a synopsis. And when we do open houses, we take notes. And I'll tell you another thing with these open houses, you guys, that we're getting some really, really good feedback. When someone walks through the house, we're saying, hey, welcome to the open house. Glad you're here. Just need you to sign in. Are you working with an agent? You know, are you selling anytime soon? We put them in a sales conversation. And the biggest thing we're asking them is, we're having this open house on behalf of the seller, and I would really appreciate it if, when you're done looking through the house, can you please give me some feedback or some things that relate to the seller? How do you feel about price and dish quality? And we had somebody last week, she's like, I've been to a lot of open houses. I've never had anybody ask me to provide feedback for the seller. And she was very impressed by that, because they can see that we're doing a service for our sellers. So think about that too. When you're volunteering for these open houses, how are you greeting these people that walk through the door? And keep in mind, you're working, yes, you're trying to pick up buyers. Yes, you're trying to create business, but you're working for those sellers too. And you never know if it's just a nosy neighbor and they're telling that seller, hey, that person sitting in the house was XYZ. So we want to be professional. We want to put our best foot forward. Open houses are great. FSBOs are great. I'm not big on expired. My husband is killing it with the expireds. Like, he's calling every day. Like, that dude is on track to close 100 units this year. He's got over 30 closed, and I think he's got 11 or 12 pending right now. And he's doing the thing. Like, he gets up every morning. He's doing 90 minutes of lead generation. Like, he is committed to the cause. We have some new agents on my team. So I've stepped back a little bit because I'm more into training and coaching and developing our team, because, like, that's just where my heart is. Like, I love to develop people. So he's stepped into a bigger role in sales, and I'm director of sales. So I'm just doing what I can to encourage and inspire our agents to, you know, do more, bigger, better things. But we still, every Tuesday at 11 a.m., we have a mastermind where we get together. We cover topics like I said, for the next 6 weeks, it's going to be value. We go through different things. We go through education, listen to podcasts, especially if you're new, you guys, and you said there's a few of them. I enrolled in Automobile University. Does anybody know what Automobile University is? When you're in your car and you're driving and you have buyers, you have sellers, what kind of podcasts can you listen to? What kind of books can you listen to? What are you filling your head with when you're in between these buyers and sellers? Because I know we show a lot of houses, and with the market the way it is, sometimes it takes quite a bit to get these buyers into contract. And we are in a very rural area. So, you know, we can drive 20, 30, 45, 50 minutes to a showing. So how am I maximizing that time? What am I learning? So even if, like, this value squared, it's 3 hours long. If you don't have time to sit and watch it and take notes, pull it up on your phone, play it through your phone, like log in command through your phone, find the value driving and listening. And is it as well, do you get as much as you do when you're reading? Maybe not, but you know what? You're still, it's inspiring the ideas, and you're pouring into yourself. So remember, you know, garbage in, garbage out, quality in, quality out. Like, what am I doing to better myself? And how can I take advantage of every moment of the day? Right? What we think about in the bolt, right? What we think about, we bring about, and what we focus on expands. And if we're focusing on sellers and we're focusing on listings, you know, odds are pretty good that's probably what's going to happen. And for you guys that are in your first year, if you're doing a bunch of buyers and you're closing a bunch of buyers, congratulations. Like, that's amazing. And know that those buyers are going to be sellers. Unless you're putting them into 55 and over condos, like, the odds are pretty good that they're going to revisit with you, or you do a fantastic job and they're going to refer their friends and family. And we got like 1 minute left. So the last thing I would say is anytime you're in contract with anyone, there's like 3 or 4 specific times where you can ask for referrals. And when you're asking for referrals, it's always a good news call. Hey, we just got the appraisal back. Everything is going fantastic. We're on a roll. And by the way, if you're enjoying this experience, which I know you are because your appraisal just came back flying colors, who do you know that's buying or selling that I might be able to help and provide them with the same experience that you're getting right now? If you have a buyer or seller give you a compliment and they're just like, oh my goodness, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Really, if you really feel that way, let me tell you what, I can treat your friends and family the same way. Who do you have that needs to be loved on just like I'm loving on you? So use those compliments as opportunities to ask for referrals. And then it doesn't feel like it's salesy. Let me take care of your friends and family the same way I'm taking care of you. Let me love on them like I love on you. I'll treat your friends and family just like I'm treating you. Easy time to ask for.
I love
right?
that, Tracy. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Get any value from this?
Huge value, Tracy.
Yes,
I just did a little recap in the chat. What I love about those referrals is they say the stats of like once they, because people usually would ask once it closes or like 30 days after it closes. Once your deal closes, it goes down by like 50%. And then after 30 days, it goes down to like 10% is the likelihood that they're going to send you a referral. So during the transaction, I could not agree more. That's huge. Well,
Yeah.
guys, thank you. Tracy, I can't thank you enough for being here. I've got a few email addresses that I'm going to be sending your way. They would love a copy of that listing presentation. That's really generous of you to send. We appreciate it. And I
Please copy
also,
Carly.
what was that?
I said, please copy Carly.
Yes, I absolutely will. I'll copy Carly, and everyone, you have a great day. Thank you, Tracy.
Go out there and win, you guys.
Bye.